Good evening, morning, and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that going to be a thing now?
That honestly, I think I'm sticking to it.
Whenever you're watching this, whether it's 4 a.m., 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
4 f.m.
Whether Carter uploaded the wrong video, so he needs to upload it again 7 hours later.
Shut up.
And I think I'm sticking with that. Honestly.
You know what?
I think I can stick it. I don't know if I'm changing
I uploaded at like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
so
and then I was up at 1 a.m. and I looked and I'm like...
Yeah, the only person
I ran down the stairs. I'm like, this is the wrong video.
Yeah, the only person that noticed that error was you, so
yes.
That's okay.
So, anyway, welcome any new listeners, any old listeners, any listeners that aren't regular listeners. We are covering the NHL 2020 draft.
The first round.
Yes, just the first round. The first round just finished tonight.
We might do something covering the other rounds. It'll probably be a lot shorter. Just
yeah.
Because there's not as much to that is probably going to happen. I'm going to say probably. Now, there is a few effects from this first round that will affect those rounds, and we'll talk about that a bit today and stuff, but we'll see. It'll probably most likely just be a shorter video.
And I think the most important thing to get out of this is why are we mostly saving the first round? Other than the obvious reason how important it is, it's the fact that you can see winners of a first round a lot quicker than you can see winners for rounds 2 to 7. The whole point of the guy getting drafted in round 6 and being successful in the NHL is that it doesn't happen overnight. Like, you'll see projections, and it's
Pavel
like...
Datsyuk, the 7th round.
Well, nobody looks at a 7th rounder, and it's like, yes, sir, I projected him to be the point leader in franchise history.
He is the franchise.
He is the franchise. Like, no. Even back in the old days, it's funny. In the old days, I will just say, just a quick tidbit. Back in the old days, drafting sucked. Like, I saw people get picked based on their Canadianness.
Yeah, well,
like, which sounds like...
Well, before they actually had a proper draft, there was at one point where I think it was Montreal, they had this weird deal or something where they would get the first 2 overall picks in almost every draft, as long as they were players from Quebec.
You better be careful, because you might have just started a giant conspiracy theory that you cannot control.
Okay, this is
I will say this, though.
So I'm good.
You know what happened, though, with one notoriously bad trade? Back in the... Oh, frick. When did the Canadians get their old, win? You know the year that Don Cherry was the coach? What year were the Canadians? What year was that? Was it the 70s? 60s?
I don't know, 60s.
Okay,
70s.
well, I don't know what exact draft year it was, but there was a team called the California Golden Seals. They traded away their first-round pick, and as far as I'm concerned, that's like the farthest back I've ever seen the first-round pick. And they ended up finishing in dead last. Their player they got in the trade was not that good. Do you want to guess who the first overall pick was the next year?
Go for it.
Guy Lafleur. Oh boy. So, just with that cautionary tale of not throwing away first-round picks, let's look at some teams that had a lot of first-round picks. So, first off, to no one's surprise, the first overall was Quinton Byfield. No, I'm obviously screwing with you. It was Alexis Lafreniere.
Everyone's talking on him.
Yeah.
There's no question. It was kind of fun. It was kind of funny because I was sitting there with my buddy, and he was saying this is already set. Why have they taken the whole 4 minutes? Because they need
to make it official.
Well, no, they took 4 minutes out of the 5 minutes to do it, and I said, you know what? Maybe they're looking for trade offers. As crazy as it sounds, they want to hear how insane. Maybe Bergevin is just going to offer a stupid trade.
Like, hey,
a stupid
you want
trade.
Carey Price at 80% salary retention? Here you go. Like, no.
Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby's not going to get any younger.
Yeah.
Do you want
Pittsburgh be sitting there like Letang, Crosby, and Malkin for the first pick.
We're getting younger!
Bet!
We are getting younger.
Well, here's the thing. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that 4 minutes was just taking time, just them getting their Wi-Fi to work. But honestly, the way it was all set up, everyone knew the Rangers knew that, the second that ball gets picked, the first overall, for the record, should never be traded.
It's never in question.
Look at all the first overall picks. 9 times out of 10, and I would argue even 19 times out of 20, minimum you're getting a roster player. At maximum, you're getting a guy who belongs on the top line for a long time. If you look back in recent history at guys who go first overall, there's only one bust there, and we all know who it is. Obviously, it's Connor McDavid. No, obviously, I'm screwing with you again. It's Nail Yakupov.
Different Oiler.
Different Oiler. Different country.
I heard
different playing style.
I heard Yakupov ended up in the KHL or something like that.
He's Russian. Where do you think he's going to go? The Swedish league?
Well, I mean...
Everyone goes up in the KHL.
Is he good enough for the KHL?
You know what the thing with the KHL is? And this is getting off topic, but I will get it quickly. The KHL does not understand defense. No one looks at Team Russia and says, oh, goddamn, their defense looks really good this year. No. The only good defense that are Russian, like defense players that are Russian, Sergei Zubov, Sergei Gonchar. And the list is done. And that is it. We talk about Russian goaltending, Bobrovsky, Vasilevsky, Brizgalov, guys like that. Briz was a beauty in back in the day. I'll hear none of that. We talk about the Russian offensive.
We all
Datsuk, Kuznetsov, Kucherov, Ovechkin.
Yeah,
like,
let's do
so
more
many.
of this draft.
But none of them talk about defense.
Yeah. So, second overall,
Quentin
Byfield.
Byfield. Yeah. It's funny. I didn't look much into him, but I kept being told. I was always told he was good. It's funny. Some people thought Stutzel. Stutz?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
It's German, so my German friends will be like, actually, it's Stussel. It's Dusselman. Like, messing it up.
Brian Burke.
Sorry, guys.
Now, I don't know if you guys watched the broadcast, but Brian Burke, oh yeah, that was a really solid pickup. You know, the Germans are coming. Brian Burke, please be careful.
You've been
with your
sitting in
choice of
history
words.
class too long, my friend. You've been sitting in history class too long.
I spent a lot of time.
Like,
history.
I'm a history student. But even I was like, nah, that's cool. Right.
I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Ottawa making their pick in. I don't know.
So
did you see the whole video of Ottawa making their pick?
I heard what they did.
You can go on NHL discussion right now.
No, I know what it is.
Yeah, so they had what's his name?
Did you
from
see my comment
Jeopardy,
on the Ottawa Senators?
No.
My comment was, or no, it might have been on NHL. I was just asking. I was wondering. I'm like, Eugene Melnyk. His team did this. The Eugene Melnyk. Did Trebek have to pay him for it? Like, how did they let?
Yeah.
Like,
it was fun.
Yeah, they had the Jeopardy
and
guy.
You know
do
what?
it.
I gotta say, those new Ottawa jerseys. Those are nice jerseys.
Those are nice.
Nice jerseys.
It always makes you wonder why they changed them.
Yeah, and
It's
you
honestly
know what?
like-
I don't mind that old logo.
It's
all right.
it's honestly like how they changed originally, like they changed from that blue Sabres jersey to the black. Like the black one looks fine, like with the it's almost like a diagonal. The logo looks fine, like the diagonal Sabres, but then they switched back to the sideways. I say diagonal because you kind of see his head, like you see both eyes like that. It's like he's attacking you. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're not talking about the banana slug, are you? Remember? It was like 2007.
Oh, I don't think so.
They call it the banana slug.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So,
then
who was the next?
It started to get interesting. Raymond got picked by.
Do you like that pickup?
Yeah,
Actually, no.
I was talking about fourth.
Fourth.
Third. Who went third? Again, I can't remember.
I'm going. Oh yeah, Stutzel went third.
Stutzel, yeah.
Fourth went Lucas Raymond. And
a lot of people thought that the Red Wings were gonna go and make kind of an out there sort of pick, and
a lot of people thought Perfetti was going at 4.
Yeah, you know.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, my friend.
We'll get to that. That is awesome.
Lucas Raymond goes at 4. I actually
you know
really
what?
like Lucas Raymond.
I like Lucas Raymond.
He's
as
been
well.
solid. Like if you watch him in those...
making a safe pick, and I know like a lot of people questioned him when he picked.
His European
cider
picks are usually pretty.
Yeah, and you know.
Cider, you mean? Is it cider or cider?
I thought it was cider.
Well, it's EIDER. Anyway, this is gonna be 20 minutes of us not knowing Europeans.
Yeah, that's all right. You know him better.
God, I feel like Brian Burke. Jesus.
Or Don Cherry.
Don Cherry. No, Don Cherry. Honestly, it's almost like Don Cherry picks up new ways to say names every time he says them. It's like Yami Yager, Yajir. Like they switch it every time. But anyway, Lucas Raymond, I like him. Honestly, he was a big contributor for their last couple World Junior appearances. I think he was out for one of the games, actually. He got kicked out. Not a good call. But, like, I see him as a pick. As a good pick. The next one
now,
is
this
probably
was
the first proper surprise.
Yeah.
So
Sanderson gets picked number 5.
Yeah, Jake Sanderson.
A lot of people, myself
I
included,
thought Drysdale was
Drysdale was going to get picked.
Now, what does NHL discussion have him in it?
However, Sanderson,
they have him listed as a two-way defenseman as opposed to Drysdale, who's an offensive defenseman. So here's my question: if you have a guy like Shabbat, are you using this guy? Like, because you obviously, like, if you're Ottawa Senators right now, especially with buying out, like, you're letting go of Craig Anderson, Mark Borwiecki, Borbietsky, sorry. It's a weird name. It isn't spelled the way it sounds, which is becoming a theme today. What's space? Buying out Bobby Ryan. This is a bare bones operation right now. Yep. And I even but I did say this. I again to poke the Ottawa stick. I did say brilliant move by Eugene Melnick. He realized he didn't need to pay Jamie Drysdale's signing bonus if he doesn't draft Jamie Drysdale. Hashtag 3-dimensional chess move at its finest. And it's true. Like, let's be honest. If I'm Sanderson, I'm like, great. I go to Ottawa. Cool, I'll be a part of their rebuild because Ottawa pretty much can make a team with all their draft picks this year because they have like 16.
Yep, they got.
But like also
3 in the first round and a deep draft. That's awesome.
Also, let's see if he actually stays there or if he gets traded away. Because I like the guys they got in the system right now. Like Brandstrom is kind of stagnating, but he seems still like a solid defensive prospect.
Now, moving on to our next one, Drysdale goes to
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
That was by default, pretty much. They had to pick him.
Yeah, it was one of those things where Anaheim probably pretty happy with their pick, knowing that they probably...
Honestly, though, Anaheim had to pick him because he was the best defenseman in the drafts, in my opinion. Then again, I like offensive defensemen. But, they have a bunch of young guys in the system on the forward side of it. They're just trying to look for like guys to like really mesh. Like they have like Sam Steele. I'm a fan of Sam Steele, Maxime Comtois, and Troy Terry. Those are 3 guys that you probably want to push more into that middle 6 like position, especially if you're the Anaheim Ducks. And so now you just needed more stability on the back end because John Gibson's back hurts every night because he carries the goddamn team.
So moving on to our next one, we got who we got?
So next we have Alexander Holtz, right winger for the New Jersey Devils.
I don't really have much knowledge of this guy. I don't really.
Yeah, sniper, pure goal scorer. You know what? Like the last few years, New Jersey's been trying to load up on offense, despite being they had to let go of Taylor Hall because they knew they weren't making the playoffs. They got guys.
Hall for Larson.
Yeah, like
nice trade.
they signed. They got Nikita Gusev last year, who I'm actually a fan of. The guy's solid.
We have 31 picks to go through.
Solid Russian player.
Let's make sure we.
I don't know. I doubt we'll go to all 31 because the late round.
Yeah,
but, we'll touch on him.
We'll touch on him.
But anyway, I'll say he was good. Like Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, just guys to get the system going.
So next on, we got Jack Quinn.
So you have a next one. You were taught because this is Buffalo's pick.
Yes.
And I didn't get it.
Yeah,
Buffalo's pick, although in my opinion, Buffalo's pick is still not. Like I would have picked. I had Quinn going like middle of the pack.
Now, one thing I will say, and this is my buddy told me this. He saw it from one of the Hockey Insiders posted it, and apparently, if you guys remember, they had the
Johansson for Stahl
trade between the Buffalo Sabres and the Minnesota Wild, and there was conditions in there. We didn't know what the conditions were
because they weren't
actual
actual picks.
Minnesota put a condition. This is from what I've been told. That it was that the Buffalo Sabres could not, in the draft, pick Rossi.
Yeah.
And if that is true, and if that's what it is...
It makes sense.
And it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And I had Buffalo winning that trade at the start. Now, do I think this necessarily means Minnesota wins this trade? Not quite sure. However... smart move.
It really depends how Quinn and then the next pick,
depends on
who is Marco Rossi, develops.
Exactly.
Marco Rossi's 9. Now here's the thing. Now, at this point, we're thinking this is a couple months, like before Rossi gets picked. This is what's getting said. If you're looking at comments on everything, Perfetti's dropping. Drysdale went after Sanderson, and Rossi's dropping as well. But my God, so Rossi goes 9th, solid, and immediately I'm texting. My dad is texting me because I'm getting the advertisements. I'm getting this updates through NHL Discussion, which apparently was faster than some people's TVs.
Yeah, I was faster than some of the players'
What a
TVs.
guy!
I was watching, and the next pick,
the Winnipeg Jets select
Cole
Perfetti. Hot damn!
I was
like,
you know
yes,
what?
we got him.
I was also happy with their decision to make Dale Hawerchuk's wife. They wanted to make
I heard about that. That's nice.
Yes, I thought
our
that was
10th season
and
10th
also,
overall.
You may also know that the Jets actually recently updated their 10th season logo for the patch.
Really
it's just gonna have the number 10 for Dale Hawerchuk.
It's really nice.
Nice touch. Just wanted to touch on that.
So here's the thing that we should talk about.
111 points.
Here. Oh, also, yeah, he had pretty much the same goals like points per game as Quinton Byfield.
Quinton Byfield, who went
now,
second overall.
Here's what I think we need to discuss because as many people know, we are predominantly a Winnipeg-based podcast in the sense of covering Winnipeg Jets. So I'm just going to talk about a couple things about what's going to happen with Perfetti. He's not going to play for the Jets this year.
No.
And if anyone's going, but Jack, why? He's such a good player. Yeah, I know he's a good player. That's why he can't play this year. And the reason is because of Washington. Not the Caps, the other one. They're coming in next year. So you know what that means? They're getting one of our players. So we can't let him go on the roster this year. We need to wait 1 year because after that, then we don't have to worry about protecting anyone. Because if we put him on there and he plays a certain amount of games, he automatically becomes protected and takes away a spot from a roster player that we could protect as well.
If you're putting Perfetti on the roster, I don't see him playing first or second
line.
Well,
he's not playing first. Shively's first.
Obviously not first, but I don't even see him playing second line at this point in time. And the thing is that if you have him playing third or fourth line, he's getting 10 minutes a game, and so you're gonna have
kills him 1 year on his ELC,
and he's gonna kill a year on his contract, so that eventually he'll have to re-sign earlier than expected, which is gonna make his it hard in terms of cap space.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna be getting the amount of minutes he would if he's playing in the juniors. If he's playing down in the juniors for a bit, he's gonna develop more because he's gonna be playing a lot more. He's gonna be getting probably at least twice the amount of ice time he's gonna get if he's playing third or fourth line for the Jets. And it's one of those things where, and me and you have been saying this a bit about the Line deal, is that you have to, for different stuff, you have to wait for your windows. And you need to realize that this is not like...
You can't push it.
Maybe the only player I can see immediately going into the NHL is Alexis Lafreniere. Now, past that, maybe Byfield...
Maybe the Kings aren't the Kings. And you know what? The Kings. He's not. The Kings don't need to protect a lot of people.
And you know, I could maybe see Raymond just with Detroit possibly, just in the sense of Detroit doesn't have a whole lot of players they got to protect
for sure.
And maybe they just want to get this guy, get him some NHL experience. And you know what? They probably could have him playing quite high on their roster because Detroit doesn't exactly have a ton of players to choose from, sadly.
Oh, they're tanking.
Oh, they're totally tanking.
Yes. Yeah, have fun with your 2021 first overall pick. Or shall I say 2021 fourth overall pick, because you'll never win the draft lottery.
Okay, next one on our list.
Well, can I just say one thing first off?
Okay, well,
I will just say this. For the people talking about guys coming into the roster, also, the Jets' record for picking guys in the first round, forwards-wise, is pretty good. The worst contributor, I'd say, is probably Vesalainen, because he hasn't played in the NHL much, and Jack Roslovic, who's overall still a middle six player.
One thing I would like to say about Vesalainen is I actually threw in.
Would you have him play this year? Like
maybe, and you know what?
You have Harkins play this year.
One thing I will say is that through this online streaming service, I have watched a little bit of him play for Jokerit in the KHL, and I gotta say, I like him.
He's okay. He's okay. I
You know
think
what?
he's slowed down a bit, but he needs to. But like honestly, I wouldn't mind
He'll
using
get
him in a
there. He'll
depth
get
piece right now because
And
we have enough forwards
We got 10
to.
minutes to do the
Yeah.
rest of the draft.
Oh, I know. Well, we're not gonna cover the rest, but you'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, yeah. But anyway, 11th overall, Yaroslav Askarov, who is widely thought to be one of the best goaltending since Carey Price, which is a steep claim. How he's picked by the Nashville Predators, which I think is interesting because Nashville, if you look at Nashville, this is pretty much like Rene signs for Rene's got what, like a year left on his contract?
Something like that.
I think so. So Rene's going to be out in a
Rene
year.
is just too good right now.
And Saros, honestly, it's funny. I think Saros is the goalie of the future. But you know what?
Yeah.
If he has trouble, this guy's probably it. Like,
You know what?
this guy's it probably the same way that Kaprizov is the guy.
And it's gonna
behind
take him
Stalock.
time. It's gonna take him time. Goalies, it always takes them a bit of time to get into it.
Sometimes.
I mean,
It's
occasionally.
hit and miss. Now, 12th overall was a guy that I was watching, and Anton Lundell
Yep.
for the Florida Panthers. This helps Florida.
Yep.
This is a solid pick.
Solid pick.
Honestly,
no
the fact
complaints.
that certain guys got moved back means that guys like Lundell were available past 10th. So,
Like, I mean, I was expecting Lundell to be in the mix.
I thought he
for-
was 9th. I thought he was going 9th.
for possible players that the Jets would be able to acquire. I was looking at him. I was looking at Jarvis.
Well, he's a center, top 6 center.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
never thought we had a chance at Perfetti.
Yeah, his production this season in Liga was better than draft year production of Kotkaniemi, Puljärvi, and Rantanen, just off the rate of Line A in his draft year.
There
So
you
he's
go.
a solid guy. I hope Florida uses him good because Florida can really be hit and miss with their prospects and stuff like that. Now, 13th overall, this pick looks good. Seth Jarvis. And for anyone listening, I said that I thought Seth Jarvis was going to be a Winnipeg Jet. That being said, I didn't know Cole Perfetti was going to get sat on for 8 guys
It was
in a
one
row.
of those things where like, it was like, you know what? Like when
He's
we
a
got to
winger,
when
so
we
it's
got
okay.
when we got to 10th overall, I was like, you know what? I'd like Seth
Just
Jarvis.
take the guy who's dropping right now.
I'd like Seth Jarvis, but we have to get Perfetti. Like it's just you cannot pass on an offer
Yeah.
that good.
Seth Jarvis goes to the Carolina Hurricanes, and I think this is such a good fit.
Yeah,
Carolina's loaded
Perfect.
on defense. Their goaltending situation they're trying to fix right now.
Yeah,
But the
no idea
offensive
where
guys that they
Moraz's going.
have so much potential. Vinny Trocheck, Sebastian Aho.
Weren't they looking into
Getting-
Braden Holtby?
Svechnikov.
Carolina.
I've heard Braden Holtby thrown out a lot. That's probably just typical free agency talk.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I don't think they like the Reimer Mrazek tandem because it's not. It struggled, especially in the playoffs. But yeah, I think Carolina's on the upswing
Braden
for sure.
Holtby and David Ayers. That's gone.
Carolina had trouble last year in the playoffs against Boston, but other than that, I think honestly, they're a lot better than that showed. 14th overall, Dylan Holloway goes to the Edmonton Oilers. I think Edmonton wish they got someone else. I think Dylan Holloway's solid, but I bet they wish they got Jarvis.
Yeah.
I think they would have wanted Jarvis if he was on the table. I think Dylan Holloway's solid, but it really is going to see how he develops in the Edmonton system. Some guys work, sometimes
Position
guys
is he got?
don't. He is a top 6 forward, power forward, he's centering. So he's playing guys in the system right now that are working, Yamamoto, Nugent Hopkins. I mean the system on the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Guys like that. They got solid 4 guys at least for sure. 5 to count James Neal, which on some nights you can.
Yeah, I heard possibility of getting rid of James Neal out of Edmonton, but that's interesting.
So,
and what 15th we're at?
Rodnan Amarov, left wing for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I got nothing to say on that, to be honest. So,
Why the hell are you drafting a forward? That's my question.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I get that they drafted a defenseman, I think last time. They drafted Sandin, who's NHL ready, honestly, for defense, but why aren't you drafting more defensemen? Your forward core's locked the hell down.
Yeah.
Philip Hollander, the guy that you got in that trade for Kapanen, forward. You're locked down.
So
16, Caden Gould for Toronto, Montreal Canadiens. He's projected to be a top 4 defenseman, 2-way defender. Believe it or not, this is the least inflammatory news about the Canadiens we can have about today.
What? You know what I was thinking? When those 2 picks went through, I was thinking, okay, why is Toronto getting a forward and why is Montreal getting a defenseman?
Switch it, damn it!
Switch it, because, if you look at Montreal's defense core, they're good. I really don't see a need to move anybody.
Yeah.
Especially with them getting Petrie re-signed and all that. And I really thought that they should go for a forward in this draft. And Toronto, everyone has been talking. Everyone, whenever they talk about Toronto, it always comes up that they need better defense.
Do they need a left-hander or right-hander defenseman? I forget what it is, but he's a lefty defenseman.
Continue, because we got to talk about the Flames.
Lucas Reichel, Chicago Blackhawks, 17th overall.
Yeah.
Solid pick. He's in a top system, though, I would say. The Blackhawks are underrated in how they've been able to load up on offense. Yeah. And I don't think enough people talk about it. 18th overall, Dawson Mercer for the New Jersey Devils, right winger.
That's their
top
second
winger,
pick of the night.
Playmaker.
Yeah. We got 3 in the first round. So.
Looks solid. And then
a lot of rumors that the Devils
Calgary Flames trade away the 9th. Now, I've heard a story about this. Apparently, the guy they wanted, they realized wasn't going to get picked at the time then. So what they did was they traded down because they still wanted the same player, but they wanted to add a 3rd-round pick involved in that as well.
And they ended
so
up
what they did was
2 of them.
They trade with the Rangers. So the Rangers get the 19th pick. Calgary gets the 22nd and the 72nd pick. This strategy works as long as it works. Braden Schneider will go to the New York Rangers defenseman. He's in a tough defensive core group to try to break into because they are locked in. A little more room now that Stahl's gone, but D'Angelo, Fox, Trouba, those guys are locking that down. 20th. Oh dear. So for the Devils, Shakir Mukhamadullin, defenseman.
Here, can I
and NHL discussion ripped into this pick. They don't even have a scouting report. They just say, awful pick. He's a big defenseman with a real lack of talent. Not very good offensively either.
And
I'm
going to say one man's opinion. But,
yeah.
Because, here, let me see the name again. Just because... Yeah, I think they said...
That looks like a spell from Harry Potter. What the hell is that?
I think they pronounce it like Mukhamadullin or something.
Mukhamadullin! Hurrah! I've turned him into a peach. Like, what the hell? All right, 21st overall, Igor Chinako?
Okay, bye.
Right wing, Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Then the next one was another trade, right? After that?
Yeah. So the next one is they trade the 22nd pick to the Caps, the Calgary Flames do, for the 24th and 80th pick. So pretty much realizing, hey, we're still going to get the guy we want. Hendrix Lapierre, centerman for the QMJHL, goes to the Washington Capitals.
And it could be Calgary also going hey, who are you guys going to pick? Okay, because there's, like Brian Burke was saying, some of these GMs are going to be a bit more open.
They think...
He was saying Bergevin specifically is going to be a GM who's going to be like, this is the guy I'm picking.
Yeah. So then Tyson Forrester...
heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't.
They were saying that, you know what, this guy... He's a smart player, great attitude, great work ethic.
Okay.
That was the 3
right winger to the Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah. Now then, Calgary makes the pick finally. A centerman, Connor Zary?
Yeah, and here's one thing I heard about this guy. I didn't hear much about him. One thing I heard though that can be problematic, and the first thing I'm gonna say the positive. The positive is this is a guy who's got some grit. Mm-hmm. He fits right in with the rest of Calgary.
Yep.
However, I've heard that he has a bit of an attitude problem. This is what I've heard. I've heard that apparently he's got a pretty solid ego. And so, like I said, this is just what I've heard. I could be completely wrong. Yeah. So this is not the hill I'm gonna die on. But this is what I've heard. So.
And that's pretty much it, honestly.
So we're gonna have to kind of wait to see how this turns out.
I'll just quickly name off the 6th remaining or the 7th remaining picks. Yeah. Justin Barron, defenseman, goes to Colorado. Probably going to be tough to make a roster there, just because of how deep they are. Jake Neighbors, goes to a left winger, goes to the St. Louis Blues. Jacob Perreault, Right winger goes to the
He
Anaheim
went
Ducks.
about at least 3 picks lower than they thought, so that was an interesting one. So.
Ridley Gregg, centerman, goes to the Ottawa Senators. That's the 3rd pick in the first round. Brendan Brisson, centerman, goes to the Vegas Golden Knights, and I just commented, surprised he didn't play, live, or was born in Winnipeg like every other Knights pick.
Jarvis is going to Vegas.
Dallas Stars, Maverick Bork, centerman. And finally making the round, Ozzy Wiesblatt. And I believe his family uses sign language on a daily basis because his mother is deaf. His mother's deaf, yeah, but his family uses sign language on a daily basis because of his deaf mother. So they announced the pick with sign language, which is just nice. It's just a nice thing.
I heard his brother was deaf.
Well, NHL discussion says it's his mother.
Yeah, well, they also said
so you're off by 2 letters. I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean,
the comments in this are savage, though.
Yeah.
Thought he was throwing gang signs. No!
Yeah.
Good lord! The universe sucks! But anyway, yeah, that covers pretty much, that covers the first round of the draft. As we said, a lot of this was focused on Perfetti, mostly because it's our team, and we're kind of interested in it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. We've been trying to get more subscribers, and you know what? Just get the word around.
Also, check out the Instagram as well.
Yes, do check out the Instagram as well. It has the exact same name as this, so you can't miss it. Isn't that nice? We will be back in due time. We might cover some trades coming up, as well as our regular podcast.
Lots of news.
Which will come out around the weekend, pretty much near the end of the weekend, whenever we get the time to doing it.
We'll figure it out.
So, thank you for watching, as always, and see you next time.